Hey guys, Happy New Year. It's Brian, or on YouTube I'm known as Retired at 40, and I want to share my resolutions for this new year of 2020 because this year is in particular very important for me. And if you don't say it out loud and act on your resolutions, then you're just wasting your effort. So now that the holidays are coming to a close, I am officially 40 years old now, which means I need to live up to my name, Retired at 40. So this year in particular is very important for my wife and I and my family. We really need to spring our plan into action this year because our goal is to officially retire in June of this year. So I'm a firm believer in setting goals, and my wife and I have always set goals pretty much since we met straight out of college. It's statistically proven that if you say your goals out loud or write them down or tell someone what your goals are, you're much more likely to actually achieve that goal. So here are some of my goals for the year 2020. I'd really like to take my YouTube hobby a little more serious this year. When I first started doing this, it was more just something to do. It was a hobby, it was kind of fun. And I got to share my interests, my passions in life, my achievements, and I got to document my life the way it actually happens. It's kind of like my reality TV show, I guess. I also wanted to document starting a couple years before we actually retired at 40 and what it took to get up to that point. And now in 2020, the YouTube thing has actually kind of catapulted me into a different direction because not that I've lost sight of my goal before, but YouTube is actually providing a little bit of income for me as well, which is gonna come in real handy when I'm retired. So the most obvious thing I want to do in the year 2020 is to retire at 40. I've basically been working at this since I was about 22 years old, so now fast forward 18 years later, I only have one shot at doing this right. If you haven't watched my video on the Retired at 40 story on how we got to this point, I'll put a link down below that you can watch that. You should watch that before you watch this video. So for us to be able to retire at the age of 40, there's a lot of nuts and bolts and moving parts that need to happen to make the retiring early thing actually work out for us. Mainly being passive income, which is provided by our 7 rentals that we have currently. So our goal is to take our 7 rentals up to 10 rentals, which means in the next 6 months I have to buy 3 more rentals. And that also means that I need to move all of our operations from Colorado to Iowa, which is where we're gonna retire. So we don't carry any debt, and we don't have any plans of carrying any debt until we reach that 10 rental goal. So where is that other money coming from? Well, we need to sell this house that we currently live in Colorado. So that brings me to my third goal, which is to complete this house and get it ready for sale, get it ready for market within the next 3 months. And I'll have some videos coming up on this house and the huge return on investment that we've gotten from this house and how we're going to turn that into more rentals. Also our early retirement budget and our passive income that's going to make us comfortable enough to retire at an early age. So my slogan is live life simple, and I mean it. So in the last few years I've really tried to start simplifying my life, and that brings me to my next goal. I've really been cutting out more and more material things in the last few years. I'm downsizing a lot of my collections of antiques and just different things. And I've quickly noticed that the fewer things that I have, the happier I've become. You just have less stress. Another thing that's really piqued my interest in the last few years is growing my own food and eating in different ways. And I've increased my garden size and my productivity every single year that's gone by. And this year, we've got a little bit more room, definitely enough room for a large garden. So I'm going to take it up a couple notches, and I'm going to implement all of my stuff that I've been practicing in my previous videos, and I'm going to put that into work into my new garden. So my last and final goal is kind of a conglomeration of a lot of things, but if I'm retiring early, really the whole benefit of retiring early is to get freedom and enjoy your life while you're healthy, you're young, and not punch a time card every day. So what's important to me? These people right here. The family. The family. The wife, the kids, the dog. Time is one of the few things that you can't put a price on. So that's it. I've talked about me. Now it's time to talk about you. I'd love to hear your goals. Leave me a comment down in the comments section. I'd love to hear what your plans are for this year, what your aspirations are for this year. In the meantime, this is Retired at 40. Remember to live life simple, and we'll catch you next week.